How you doing, Mr. DJ here? I'm gonna spend one more week on the 70s. Tonight and probably Wednesday night and probably sometime this weekend, Saturday and Sunday night. Tonight I'm gonna go to. I want to do some songs from Billboard's Hot 100 in 73, 75, and then do one from 70. And then next week I'm gonna move right back into the sock hop years between 1954 through 1963. I'll probably start off outsourcing Billboard's Hot 100 from 1963 and then move on back next week. But the thing is, there's just so many songs on these Hot 100s that I want to cover that it's like a kid in a candy store. You try to grab everything, you try to walk out of the store with it, but you got to put some of the songs back. You got to put some of the toys back on the shelf. All right, Billboard's Hot 100. I believe it was. I wrote it down. November the 18th, 1975. 1975. 19, November 19th. I tell you what, let me read you the top five hits from that week, November 1975. 1575, Heat Wave, Love is a Rose, double-sided hit for Linda Ronstadt, on a roll with those remixes she was doing, produced by Peter Asher back in the mid-70s. Miracles by Jefferson Starship at number 4, Who Loves You by the Four Seasons at number 3. That was one of the Four Seasons' big comeback hits. And the Miracles, Jefferson Starship, formerly of the Jefferson Airplane, big comeback hit for them. Lion Eyes by the Eagles at number 2. A lot of people have fond memories of the Eagles. Island Girl by Elton John at number 1. And I want to go all the way down. One of the great all-American bands at number 81 on Billboard's Hot 100, up from 83 the previous week. Guess who it is? The Grateful Dead. The music never stopped. I forgot 45. This is not a top 40 single. This is more of an eclectic single. This is just something. It's more of an album cut. It's like you get past a couple of singles and then hear this album cut, you get into it, and it sounds really cool to listen to. You're in that eclectic frame of mind. It's like you don't want to really listen to anything. You're not in the mood to listen to anything really commercial. Therefore, you get into this record by the Grateful Dead. Grateful Dead never had a top 40 hit until, irony of all ironies, 1987. And the thrust of the high-powered, high-tech drum machine dance music of Pet Shop Boys, Depeche Mode, New Order, and the hair metal bands. You got the Grateful Dead sliding in with Touch of Grey. Went to number 9 on Billboard's Hot 100, but you probably remember some of the other big hits. Well, relatively speaking, there was their first charted hit was Uncle John's Band in 1969, and there was Truckin' 1970, and Sugar Magnolia in 1973. Consulting my top 40 singles Bible here, Uncle John's Band went to number 69. And then Truckin' went to number 64. Alabama Getaway, remember that? From 1980, went to number 68 on Billboard's Hot 100. You get the picture, but to the legions of deadheads out there, it doesn't matter. They don't give a hoot if Grateful Dead had 17 top 10 hits or they didn't have any hit records at all. We are talking legions. This group is among the most loyal following I've ever seen. And I've known some people who are just die-hard Deadheads. Grateful Dead fans. Grateful Dead, let's go back a little bit on Grateful Dead. They played at the Monterey Pop Festival in 1965. They played a set between The Who and Jimi Hendrix. Yes, way to go. And then they appeared at the Woodstock Festival a couple of years later in summer '69. They played between Canned Heat and Creedence Clearwater Revival. I mean, we're talking about the elite of rock and roll back in the late '60s. But get this, by 1969, the end of the '60s, Grateful Dead, they were in a financial hole with Warner Brothers. They owed their record company $100,000 for studio time, never paid for, or wasn't paid for at the time. Think about that, $100,000 in 1969, that's what, maybe about $1 million in today's currency, perhaps $1,500,000. But still, now we go to their album. They came out in 1975. It's called Blues for Allah. It's their 8th studio album. Yo, to this record, the music never stopped by the Grateful Dead. and came in at number 81. I believe it was number 81 the week. Did I mention that already? Number 81 the week of November the 18th, 1975. Up from 83 on Billboard's Hot 100 for 5 weeks. Grateful Dead.